It was a quiet night in the world of Minecraft. Vanya had been exploring a vast, unexplored area for days, looking for resources and new places to build. After a long journey, she came across an old, abandoned village hidden deep within a dark forest. The houses were broken and overgrown with vines, and the cobblestone streets were cracked and empty. At first, it seemed like a typical abandoned village, but something about it felt off. Vanya entered the village, her footsteps echoing through the silent streets. She checked every building, hoping to find something useful, perhaps some leftover crops or loot. But as she wandered through the village, she noticed something strange. In every single house, the beds were untouched, as if no one had ever lived there. There were no signs of decay either. The wood was still fresh, the cobblestones undamaged. It was as though the entire village had been frozen in time. As she continued exploring, she reached the village well in the center of town. To her surprise, it was not empty. A strange, faint sound came from deep within, like a soft whispering. It seemed to call to her, beckoning her closer. Against her better judgment, Vanya peered down into the dark abyss of the well. There, at the bottom, something caught her eye, two glowing eyes staring up at her. Suddenly, the ground beneath her shook, and a loud guttural growl echoed through the village. Vanya's heart raced as she spun around, searching for the source of the noise. The village was still, but then she saw it, a shadowy figure moving in the distance. Terrified, Vanya backed away slowly, but the figure grew closer, its face obscured by darkness. The whispering grew louder, as if the entire village was trying to speak to her. Vanya ran, her heart pounding in her chest, but no matter how fast she went, the figure was always just behind her, closer with every step. She made it to the edge of the village, where a dense forest surrounded her. But as she looked back, the figure was gone. She breathed a sigh of relief, thinking she had escaped, until she turned around to face the forest. Standing there under the trees were hundreds of glowing eyes staring directly at her. The last thing Vanya saw before the darkness consumed her was the figure's face, twisted in a horrific grin. She never left that village. The next day, a new player appeared in the same world. They wandered into the abandoned village, finding only an empty, broken landscape. But in the distance, they could hear a faint whisper, beckoning them to come closer.